I'm Katie Vasquez. Faculty and students from St. Matthias Catholic Academy will be looking for a new school come September. The Ridgewood school has announced it will be closing this June after serving the Queens community for 114 years. Despite the board having already voted to close its doors, there's one final push by parents and staff to save the school. Currents News' Jessica Easthope has more.
Lauren Murtha's hope was her 6-year-old son Jimmy would graduate with a diploma from St. Matthias Catholic Academy, like she did and like her dad did.
I'm writing in my journal.
But that won't be the case. St. Matthias will close its doors in June.
I don't want to see it closed because I like this place.
I need a backup plan. I have to. My child needs to go to school, but I don't want to accept it yet. My son walks out of here with this genuine smile every day.
Lauren, like other parents, students, and faculty, are heartbroken over the Board of Trustees' decision to close the school due to low enrollment and mounting debt. Over the last 10 years, enrollment slipped from 400 students to just over 150, and yearly deficits have reached $300,000.
There's been a serious decline in enrollment. That has also led to deficits, and it's become a question of how long is this sustainable.
Principal Carrie Ann Wade Donahue says she and the rest of the school community are holding out hope.
Once we get people in the building, they're very happy with the product that they see. It's just a matter of getting them here.
Parents have started a GoFundMe to raise $1 million while the school is trying to enroll new students.
We scouted school after school, and St. Matthias is where we felt at home, and we've been here ever since, and we don't want to see the school close.
But families are starting to settle into the idea that they may have a new home come September.
I was devastated at first, but now I'm kind of still sad, but it's getting easier to hear.
No matter where we end up, the students have to have a place where they feel safe and they can be happy and they can learn. If this does mean that this is the end, then we're going to go out with a bang. We're going to make this the best experience they've ever had.
The superintendent's office is committed to assisting all families with finding a seat in another local Catholic academy for the beginning of next school year. In Ridgewood, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
The Catholic Chaplain at Columbia University is calling for peace after more than a week of anti-Israel protests at the school. Some of them have turned violent and more than 100 people have been arrested. There's a tent city on the campus, and the Ivy League University has given students 48 hours to dismantle the encampments. Classes have gone remote, and some Jewish students say they are scared to return. The feelings of unease have chaplains like Father Roger Landry calling for peace, saying, quote, protests that feature pro-Hamas slogans or justifications for Hamas's October 7th attacks, that chant from the river to the sea, that Jewish students interpret as a call for the elimination of the state of Israel, and that praise the Al-Qassam brigades are not peaceful but downright hostile. Here to talk more about everything going on at Columbia is the national correspondent for the Tablet and Crux, John Lavenberg. Hi, John.
Hi, Katie.
Hi. So you spoke to Father Landry, who has seen many of these protests firsthand. What does he see and hear from these demonstrators?
Yeah, so, he said that a lot of the protests are peaceful, but he also noted a lot of them have turned ugly and protesters are behaving in harmful ways. Some of those, as you mentioned in that quote, there are chants and signs and pro-Hamas slogans. There's also chants with from the river to the sea, the phrase that is interpreted as a call for the elimination of the state of Israel. So a lot of those protests are turning anti-Semitic and harmful to Jewish students and faculty at the university.
And now, how is he advising the Catholic students at Columbia during these protests?
Yeah, so he's been working and talking with a lot of Catholic students at Columbia during this time, reminding them the importance of prayer and their role as peacemakers in their community. He's talking to them about how they can focus to improve the situation and showing them the responses in Pope Francis and the Holy See that they can use to guidance. One challenge, though, that he noted, and Mayor Eric Adams also noted, is that there are also agitators unaffiliated with the university that have participated in these protests that make it a little more difficult for students and even faculty to address them.
Wow. And did he have any solutions for how to stop these demonstrations?
So first and foremost, he said the protests that involve the anti-Semitic comments must be stopped. That's the first thing he said needs to happen. And then pertaining to the leadership at the university, he said they need to focus first and foremost on the educational mission of the university and the safety and protection of their students. So, one thing we saw today was House Speaker Mike Johnson was there visiting with Jewish students at Columbia, and it'll yet to be seen if Columbia leadership or others will take that step to make those Jewish students and faculty feel safe and kind of try and find peace through this whole process.
Judd Lavenberg, the national correspondent for the Tablet and Crux, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Katie.
Pope Francis also called for peace during his general audience Wednesday, speaking on the wars happening both in Gaza and Ukraine.
Preghiamo per la martoriata Ucraina, soffre tanto, tanto. I soldati giovani vanno a morire. Preghiamo.
The Holy Father went on to say that war is always a defeat. Meantime, President Joe Biden has signed a bill that will provide aid to Israel and Ukraine. The $95 billion package includes air defense capabilities, artillery rounds, armored vehicles, and other weapons to shore up Ukrainian forces. While signing, Biden said those shipments of weapons would begin in the next few hours. The war in Ukraine has displaced hundreds of thousands of people. But for one teen, his escape from war led to his lifelong dream. The high school senior will attend the Berklee College of Music in the fall. And Josh Sanders tells us he credits God for the opportunity.
For as long as he can remember, high school senior David Korsakov has dreamed of using music to make the world a better place.
I want to make people feel what I'm feeling inside. Yeah.
Use music to do that.
And use music to do that, yeah.
But 2 years ago, the sounds of war changed his life forever.
In 4 in the morning, when we start to hear bombs, hear Russian flies, and my father go to my room and says, "War started, we just need to take a bag." My father say I need to choose. I need to take my bag or I need to take my key lock.
With just his keyboard and the clothes on his back, David traveled all the way to Philadelphia with his mom and sister to further his education at string theory schools in Center City. But he longed for what he left behind.
When I start to think to my friends who die in Ukraine, and I watch all these friends who were here with me, I think that God gave me something.
While he's made new friends, his best friend is still fighting in the war.
My father in Ukraine, he's a military chaplain.
Still in Ukraine?
Yes, still in Ukraine.
Fighting in the war?
Yep.
What does he mean to you?
He's my best friend. He's my number one. I speak with him every day.
And now his number one has a reason to celebrate with his son, because David just got into the school of his dreams.
I watch internet and I just watch the school and says, wow, I know the school. And I try to apply and I get in.
This fall, he will be attending the Berklee College of Music in Boston.
That's mean a lot. That's a lot of hard work what I do. My family, my parents be proud of me.
His dream now a reality, and a chance to use his music to make the world a better place.
Really important, what do you do in your life? What do you do for people?
That was Josh Sanders reporting. David's accomplishment is even more impressive when you learn that when he first came to the U.S., he did not speak any English. Good luck to him at his dream school. Catholics are counting down the days until the National Eucharistic Congress this July. The 5-day event in Indianapolis is meant to help people of faith get closer to Christ in the Eucharist. And to get you excited for the event, we now have the official hymn for the event. Let the Earth Acclaim Christ Jesus was written by Kathleen Pluth from St. Thomas the Apostle Church in Phoenix, Arizona. The music can be set to a variety of melodies, and there are different versions of the score. Diocese of Brooklyn faithful just celebrated their own revival event. If you missed it, you can read all about it in this week's tablet. The newspaper covers everything from the pilgrimage to the prayers said to Bishop Robert Brennan's message to the faithful. To read it all, just pick up the tablet at your local church this weekend. You can subscribe and get future papers sent to you online at thetablet.org. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Katie Vasquez. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.